My name is Jim Brown. I'm lead level designer from Epic Games, and we're here today to talk about Gears of War Judgment.
What advice would you give someone who's played through the Declassified campaign?
So the Declassified campaign is a brand new way we've introduced, so you can change the way that you play through the single player campaign, and it introduces a nice element of challenge to the game if you want to add that layer of complexity. And we actually kind of track the way that you're playing and how well you're doing, whether you're meeting these challenges, whether you're doing special moves, whether you're accomplishing your goals in the right manner. And we give you a star rating at the end of each chapter. So it's a great way to kind of rise to that challenge. And you have to think tactically, you have to react well in order to get the highest star rating that you can. And then you can use those stars to unlock new weapons, new character customization, and even a whole separate campaign that you can play through in the game.
What's your favorite gun in the campaign? Tell us why. I
go back and forth on that. There's always the classic guns, the Lancer with the chainsaw on the front. That's a go-to. I'm a huge fan of the sawed-off, which we've completely redone. So a brand new shotgun, and now has 2 shots and is a lot more consistent and better all around. But there's very few things that are more fun than just firing the Booshka, which is our new grenade launcher. And people in tests will just yell out, they'll scream "Booshka" as soon as they get shots and get kills with it, which is amazing. But it's really versatile because it bounces around corners, it explodes on impact, and it's really just fun to use all around.
What are some strategies when dealing with the different kinds of new locusts?
So we have some new locusts in the game. The main campaign is actually set 14 years before the original Gears of War, and so it's kind of been, imagine a war of attrition, where over the years, by the time you got to Gears of War 1, a lot of the big locusts, a lot of the big powerful weaponry from the COG is already gone. They no longer have munitions plants to make new stuff. They can't resupply. So now that we're back to that period that's before all that happened, you're going to see some more powerful things. We have younger characters, so to speak, so they've been modeled to look a little bit younger. We've sped up the gameplay and the animation and smoothed out controls so they react differently. We have all new voice recordings so that they sound less battle weary when they're in the field. But then you also get to see, there's a lot like the new grenade launcher, which is a really, really powerful gun. We have a whole new sniper rifle, the Markza that's in the game, and you're also going to see some more powerful locust as well. The main enemy that you're fighting throughout the campaign is someone you chase, and you kind of get to see this trail of destruction until you have your ultimate encounter with him at the end. And then another great one is the Rager, who is a guy who will hide back with a sniper rifle, so you have to be really careful because you'll lose your head. But when you do find him and you start to do damage to him, he throws down his rifle and he rages out. He grows really big, he gets spikes and claws, and he charges right at you, and he will just take you down in one swipe. So you really have to adjust your combat strategy to either take him out quickly or have a good place to run, because he is going to get you as soon as he rages.
What's your favorite way to play Overrun as a locust?
It really depends on your team, because each of the classes has their own special abilities, which is great. But what's more fun is the way that those abilities combine in different ways, and the different strategies that you can come up with depending on the people you're playing with. So if you have a Cantus who's there, then you can be more successful as a Grenadier because you're going to be res more often and you're going to stay healed. If you have a Wretch that runs in that can stun people, then it's easier to get tickers through the lines because you're not so vulnerable to incoming damage. So the best strategy to employ when playing as the Locust is to pay attention to what the other people on your team are using and always communicate, because if you're not talking to the other people, if you're not helping each other out, then that's the best way to win, is to work as a team.